Hey everyone, today we're getting our hands dirty and making a delicious batch of homemade pierogi. These little pockets of joy are filled with a creamy cheese mixture and crispy fried pork bits, and they're guaranteed to satisfy your comfort food cravings. Peel the potatoes and cut them into pieces. Boil the potatoes until fork tender. Mash the potatoes and set them aside for now. Cut and dice a medium onion, set aside. Dice a small piece of salt pork. We will fry these little pieces of goodness until golden brown. Remove the pork pieces, set them aside, and also save the rendered oil. Let's work on that delicious filling. Add the diced onion to the pan and cook it until softened and translucent. This should take about 5 minutes. Let's combine our cheese and that amazing cooked pork and onion mixture. Season it all up with some salt and black pepper to taste. Now that's a filling I can get behind. All right, let's start the dough. Add the flour and salt to a large bowl and mix together. In a small saucepan, warm the water with butter until it is very hot but not boiling. The temperature should be around 80-85 degrees Celsius, 176, 185 degrees Fahrenheit. That is when the water starts to move and steam. Pour hot water with butter into the bowl with the flour and mix with a wooden spoon until roughly combined. Knead the dough using your hands or with a stand mixer fitted with a hook attachment for about 5 minutes. A food processor can also be used, fitted with the dough blade. The dough should be smooth, soft, and elastic. It shouldn't stick to your hands. When you follow the recipe, especially if you weigh the ingredients instead of using measuring cups, the dough should be perfect. But if for some reason it's not, add some water if it's too dry, or a little bit of flour if it's too wet. Wrap the kneaded dough in plastic so it doesn't dry out, and leave it to rest for about 30 minutes. Divide the dough into 2 parts. Roll out the first piece of dough to a thin sheet, about 1/8 inch thick. We want it nice and even, so use a rolling pin and add more flour if the dough gets sticky. Now to make those perfect little pockets, we're going to use a 3-inch round cutter. Cut out as many circles as you can from the dough. Gently gather the scraps and cover with wrap. We can re-roll those scraps later to make even more pierogi. Place a spoonful of that delicious filling in the center of each dough circle. Fold the dough over to form a half-moon shape and pinch the edges to seal them shut. Make sure you get a good seal, or all that cheesy goodness might leak out during cooking. I use a fork to crimp the edges. Repeat the process to use all your dough and filling. All right, bring a large pot of salted water to a boil. Once it's nice and rolling, gently drop your pierogi in there. Cook them for about 3-4 minutes or until they float to the surface. That's how you know they're perfectly cooked through. Use a slotted spoon to remove the cooked pierogi from the water and drain them well. Look at those beauties. We're almost there. Now let's give these pierogi a beautiful golden brown finish. Heat up some saved rendered pork fat in a skillet over medium heat. Once it is sizzling, add your cooked pierogi in a single layer. Don't overcrowd the pan or they won't cook evenly. Give them a nice golden brown sear on each side for about 2 to 3 minutes per side. It's time to plate these beauties up. Arrange your golden brown pierogi on a plate and garnish them with some chopped fresh chives for a pop of color. A dollop of sour cream on the side is a classic way to enjoy pierogi, so feel free to add that if you like. Also, some fried onions add extra texture and flavor.